like Scoob.
Yeah.
What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking Scoob. It just released. You can rent it. You can buy it digitally. Today we're going to talk about it. I need you in the comments down below. Were you excited for Scoob? Of course you were. And did it live up to your expectations? Let's get right into it. So Scooby and the gang must face their most challenging mystery ever, a plot to unleash a ghost dog upon the world. As they race to stop this dogpocalypse, the gang discovers that Scooby has an epic destiny greater than anyone imagined. The voice cast here is stacked. You have Zac Efron as Fred, Jason Isaacs as Dick Dastardly, Gina Rodriguez as Velma, Amanda Seyfried as Daphne, Will Forte as Shaggy Rogers, Mark Wahlberg, hey, how you doing, as Blue Falcon, Ken Jeong, Tracy Morgan, McKenna Grace, and of course, Frank Welker as Scooby Doo. Now, I won't lie to you. When the movie first started out, I'm like, yeah, I'm team Frank Welker as Fred. I'm team Matthew Lillard at this point as Shaggy. So you're missing out on some of the voice talent that you know and love, but you slowly get used to this modern cast. You slowly adjust. And once you do, something that I didn't know whether I was going to accept these new voices as our characters, you're much more on board than you anticipate. I'll admit, Zac Efron, pretty good as Fred. Will Forte, it's a very different kind of Shaggy, but halfway through the film, I was completely on board with his interpretation, and as long as you have the staple, Frank Welker as Scooby-Doo, I think you're going to like it. And the cast of our crew that we know and love was great, but then you have this voice talent surrounding them, multiple Hanna-Barbera characters, kind of building this world that we're going to tackle in other movies. Where I found fault in this film is the fact that they were kind of putting this story on hold to set up things to come in the future, and we've seen studios do that before. And we also see plenty of elements that are shoehorned in this film just because they're a Warner Brothers property. Now, does that overtake the movie and make me have a bad time at the end of the day? No, I still had fun with this film, absolutely. But I can't sit back and tell you it's the most concrete story I've ever seen. It does feel a bit jumbled in parts. A lot of that has to do with the fact that they were shoehorning in these elements. And I do believe that's going to bother a lot of critics, and I completely understand that. But for what it was giving us and the moments that we got with these characters when they were extremely personal, those were the moments that I appreciated, and those were the moments that pushed me more in a positive direction at the end of the day. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's kind of nailing its target audience. It's turning off some longtime fans in the long run, for sure. I have a feeling it's going to be more of a divisive movie than maybe I wanted, but I'm definitely more on the positive side rather than the negative. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that I really enjoyed our voice cast, and I thought the characters came to life in a really fun way. And that's another thing that I think are going to throw some fans off, is this is not your classic Scooby-Doo solving a mystery that's more grounded. The story is absolutely more outlandish, and it feels like every time we get a Scooby-Doo film, we can't just get a simple mystery. In a sense, it makes sense, right? In another sense, I really, I miss the classic feel, so that's one thing that I didn't get with this movie. But what I did get, more of it than I thought, is actually going to appeal to adults, because there were some jokes in here that will go over kids' heads, and we, as adults, will get them. And I liked that. There were also some elements in here that those of us with a best friend or a group of friends, or sometimes you just feel like you're not accepted in a way that some of these characters should be within this movie, and we're going to relate. And this story has much more to offer when you start peeling back the layers. I'm not saying it's philosophical. I'm not saying it's a revelation in the world of Scooby-Doo. But the expectations that I had was for this film to throw a few too many elements in here that appeal only to kids and only to those who enjoy the dabbing and the timely elements that I was talking about. And there are a few moments like that I'm just like, yeah, you could have left that out. It probably would have aged better. Not everyone's going to love the fact that it's building this Hanna-Barbera verse, but I was more unfamiliar with Blue Falcon and Dino Mutt than I thought. I love seeing Dick Dastardly in here, and the voice cast is what sells it. Everyone is good. Mark Wahlberg thrives in this role. Ken Jeong actually fit the character, and a couple of new incarnations, interpretations, but it really all does harken back to what we know and love. Whether you grew up with the original, whether you grew up watching Boomerang, it's cool to see what we see here, and even cameos that I ain't going to talk about, but those were there, those were present, and fans will be like, oh, okay. A couple of ongoing jokes that fell a bit flat, they kept reoccurring, and there's this ongoing thing with Simon Cowell throughout the movie. And not that I don't like Simon Cowell, I'm a big American Idol fan, but I just sat back and thought, this doesn't feel like it belongs in 2020. I like Simon Cowell, like I said, but it was just random. There's some random elements to this film that I don't know if they are going to work for a lot of people, and they may even stray some hardcore fans away. But the elements that work here really work, and I was just so surprised with the way that this story came together and the heart at the center of it. Some of it's a bit too vibrant, some of it's flashy. Of course, you have the grand effects in a movie like this, but it really all comes down to this friendship and this group that does truly love each other, and you see that, and that's what I want with Scooby Doo, man. I'm here for the gang, but I was genuinely happy with the result. Not thrilled, but happy. Is everyone going to feel that way? Absolutely not. Some things do go overboard, and I think the jokes that won't work are going to push some people away, but those that do work, combined with the joy and the fun that I had while watching this film, and the fact that I look at who this is made for, and I feel like they're really going to appreciate it. So I can't go super high with my score just because of the problems that I have with the overall story, but I'm still going in a positive direction, a 62% for Scoob. A lot of fun to be had with the story. I enjoyed the voice cast. I'm interested to see where they go next and what movies we get from this. I need your comments down below. Did you love this film? Did you like it? Were you surprised? All of those things, let me know. I appreciate you guys for supporting this channel. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. I'll see you guys soon.